I have 6 windows in my house, if you include the one that's in the door. And no matter which one of those windows I look out this morning, I have this feeling of discouragement. No, not really. I know that at this time of year, this isn't going to last. It's not like when we get this in September or October, and it could possibly stay all winter. Well, I guess I shouldn't be complaining because it's nice and warm here at the model table, and the coffee is fresh and hot. And and I got my watch fixed last night. We'll talk about that after. Okay. All right, I think this actually is going to go like that. We got some stuff to discuss here. Okay, once we start getting in, doing some of the real small stuff, we'll move in a little closer here so it's clearer. Now you remember this piece here. It's got the two little protrusions on the bottom. They go into this hole here, into those two holes rather. Anyway, I don't need to mess around with that right now. What I wanted to show you is that some of these parts, like this piece right here, this sort of semi-triangular piece, and this piece here, they all have to get mounted on here. Excuse me. Now the suggestion has been made that we leave this part on the fret, or I call it the sprue, but I guess it's not really a sprue. I guess fret is actually a more correct way of putting it. Now, here's the thing. If I solder these parts on while this is attached, there's plastic on the other side, and that would have to be removed, which wouldn't be a big problem. We could take the plastic off, I guess, and or, as somebody suggested, is it really a good idea to be messing around with solder at this point? Would I actually be better off using CA glue to glue these parts on, being as I'm going to be wanting to have them up against this piece of plastic? At least I think that's what he was trying to say. I think you should be able to see it there in the bottom of the screen. It was my plan to have it drop down. What I was going to say something else here about this. Well, I'll think of it. Now we have another consideration going on here, and that is when we glue this part here to the other side. Okay, it's going to be glued on the other side of this. And if I've glued with CA glue these brackets on the bottom here, like this part of it right here is actually the underside, and these brackets, well, anyway, what if, in order to get this piece here, excuse me, to mount flush along the bottom here, I have to flex it a little bit? Well, CA glue does not lend its well to flexing. Well, neither does solder, but the solder is infinitely more stronger. So I'm just wondering, I'm just considering all this. To CA glue these on in place is a good idea, but if afterwards I try to glue this piece on, I'm going to end up breaking them off or loose. I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud here. Now, here's another thing. I am thinking that no matter what I do, I should maybe take this plastic backing off, because if when I'm trying to peel it off, I'm flexing this plate and breaking connections, just another thing to think about here. Now, you would wonder, how is it that something that is so simple here is all of a sudden getting really complicated? And I'm thinking maybe what I should do is just go ahead here and while I'm thinking about it, excuse me, I'm having a problem with my voice today. Get some of these pieces here, like this is the A sheet, and you can see we need these pieces right here. And maybe these ones too, I'm not sure. Anyway, we need quite a few angle brackets, but there's also some off the D sheet, quite a few actually. And we're going to have to get out more tuna fish tins here and keep them separate and label them and stuff like that. So obviously they don't all go in the same place. And there's a lot of them, a lot of these angle brackets. So I think I do think they're going to look good once they're on. But are they going to be the sort of thing that are going to be, underneath everything and nobody's going to see it anyway? No, I think probably at a bit of an angle we'll get to see them. Anyway, let's just find our parts here. Okay. Now, excuse my reach here. I think we got enough tins all lined up. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just go ahead and cut all these angle brackets. I'm not going to video cutting each one like I've done in the past here. When we get to to this large piece right here, well, I'll show that being done. Now, it seems to me that at the beginning of this episode, and that was probably a couple of inches of snow ago, it's been snowing steady off and on ever since this morning, and we've got quite a bit of snow out there, but it is melting about as fast as it's hitting. At least it's melting on the street. Now, I know you could care less, but it's important to me. Anyway, I think what I'm going to do is, before we have some sort of a power failure because of the heavy wet snow, we'll take a look at the watch here. Yeah, I just wanted to explain to you what I did. Okay, you will remember I was saying that I couldn't push the buttons in anymore to set it. Yeah, we could put a battery in and make it run. And the suggestion had been that, well, what you do is just wait until midnight of Sunday and then quickly put the battery in, and then it would be more or less at the right time. Now, you know what? I had thought of that too. Anyway, what I did here, maybe I should just reposition a little bit so that you're moved in and you can see it here. Now, I was just about to start videoing here, and I was noticing what appeared to be dirt. And I thought, well, how could that have happened? Because I went to a lot of work last night to clean this up. No, I guess it's some sort of corrosion going on there. Anyway, what I did was I took it apart as best I could. And where is it here? Yeah, on this one right here. Some years ago, I had put a finishing nail through here to act as a pin. And then I soldered the end over. Yeah, that was pretty sloppy, but at the time it seemed the thing to do. I guess about that time I was getting to the place where I didn't care about this watch anymore. As I mentioned yesterday, I had it since I think it was 1974. And I'm pretty sure it was in 74. Yeah, anyway, so what I did was I took it apart as best I could, took the bracelet off and so on. Once you take the bracelet off, you can see how, at first I was wondering, now how do I get this back off of here? I couldn't see anywhere where you hook anything into it to pry it out like a normal watch. And then I was noticing that if you can get the bracelet off, or the strap, you can see where you push in, and there's a bit of a release. and when you push the release in, then the back will sort of pull off. Anyway, it comes apart in about, I would say, 4 major components, one of which is the module. And the module, by the way, is completely round. I guess it was designed so it would work in a watch like this, or it would also work in a watch that was round. Anyway, everything except the module, I soaked in boiling hot soapy water and in my ultrasonic cleaner. Not that little round one that you see me use here, but I have a larger one. And I couldn't believe, I was embarrassed at the amount of dust that just poured off this thing. I turned the ultrasonic cleaner on, and little clouds were coming up from all around the bracelet and so on. It was unbelievable. And then in the back here, it was pretty grungy. It's all nice and clean now. And anyway, I was able to get it all back together. Oh, and of course, when I was doing that, the buttons, the dirt that was underneath the buttons, of course, came out, and then I was able to free them up, and they go in and out nice and easy now. This one here on the side that I thought you pushed in for a light, I thought I did. Maybe I had a watch that was similar to that, but that's not what it is. Once everything got freed up, I was able to pull this out, and you pull this little stem out much like an ordinary watch, and when you do that, then you're able to set it. Now, interestingly, I think I mentioned this, you cannot set the calendar for today's date because it only goes as high as, I thought it was 2012, but it's only 2009. I've checked it out a couple of times here, and it'll go from 1970 through to 2009. Well, I guess way back in the early 70s when they made this watch, they never anticipated anybody ever wanting to, go past 2009. I mean, that was like way off in the future. We wouldn't even be wearing watches then. We'd have implants that told us what time it was. I mean, that's the kind of things we thought. Well, some of us. Anyway, yeah, so this is not dirt here. I guess that's tarnish or corrosion. Anyway, I've got it cleaned up. I put the little battery back in it, and it's working now. If I press for the see if I can get the light right here. Okay, there, you should be able to see it. If I press the button for the date, okay, it goes, where are we here? Oh, it was on the date. Okay, if you press it for the date, it goes to the 4th month, the 12th day, which is today. Unfortunately, the year is 00. I mean, there was nothing I could select that made any sense, so I just went for 00. But the display changes for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and the time is right, and that is the correct date or time for right now. So in other words, we don't have a whole lot more time this afternoon to mess around with watches and stuff. Anyway, I just wanted to explain what I did. I spent about 3 hours on it last night. The only problem I had getting it back together was there's a little seal. Actually, there's 2 seals, but there's one seal, like a gasket, that goes all around the outside. And it took me about half an hour to get that back on straight, so that in other words, when I pressed everything together, it was properly lined up. Okay, enough about the watch, for goodness sakes. Well, I'm kind of at the crossroads right now. Do I cut this piece off? Or do I leave it on? I'm going to have to think about it. I know the decision is up to me, whatever I think is going to be the easiest for me. Some people would prefer to leave it on, and some people might think to take it off. But I'm going to sleep on it, you might say. So thanks for watching, everybody. And all being well, we'll see you tomorrow.